Good evening, and welcome to this episode of Not Right, Not Wrong, the podcast. I'm Tamika, and I'm joined with Ja and Mark with the C.
What's going on, sis?
What's going on with you? How are you, fellas?
I'm well. I'm well.
Hola, hola, hola. I'm blessed. Give thanks for another day.
All the time.
Beautiful, beautiful. Good to see you guys. Good to see your faces and your smiles and all that good stuff.
Likewise.
As usual. As usual.
Likewise.
As usual, likewise. As usual with Mark. So I'm here representing for Morgan State University today. I just want to
I
point that
see.
out.
I
And Webster
see.
Ave in my background.
Webster in the building.
Mhm. Where I came from, where I've been, where I'm going, all of that
That's
good
right.
stuff.
Dig it. Dig
Journey.
it.
The
Dig it.
illustrious journey. That's it.
The illustrious journey. That's it.
Yeah, man.
That's it. So I want to tap into you brothers tonight a little bit about a topic I'm super curious about and I can't speak to from personal experience.
Super curious.
I'm curious. I want to know what it's like for each of you moving through the world. I'm curious about what it's like um in your experience as a man, maybe a black man, maybe perhaps you want to throw that in there. I hope you do. Um, but what would you like women to know? What do we misunderstand about you? What could we learn about you? What are your
Mm,
trials and tribulations? What makes you
mm, mm,
happy? What
mm.
makes you like, yes, all of that stuff? Like, what goes
This is
on
gonna
in
be this is
your
gonna be
mind?
2-3 parts.
Loaded.
Because we're
This is gonna be 2-3
curious.
parts.
Let's do it then. Let's do it because we're curious. Because sometimes, fellas, y'all get quiet, and we're trying to look deep into your eyes, the windows of your soul, and figure out what's happening. Sometimes y'all want to go to the barber shop, and you have all kind of
Move the
conversations.
curtains. Y'all try to move the
Yes,
curtains.
we want to. Let's peel the curtains back just a little bit and show the ladies what it's like for you. What is it like for you guys moving through the world? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you angry? What do you want us to know about you?
Wow. Wow.
It's a little question. It's not a big question.
Loaded.
So this is
Loaded.
gonna be a 3-part. I
Go
think this is the
ahead.
first episode of 3. We're gonna have to do a couple of other tapings. That probably
Let-
won't occur tonight, but we're gonna have to do a couple of other tapings. Um, I'm gonna defer to Ja to take the lead with that first,
Ah.
and then I'm gonna rock with that. Seeing as how the Giants won first before
Yeah,
the
that's why
Jets,
you
even though
should
they
go first.
they
That's why you should
played
go
the
first.
same day.
We went
All right,
just went to overtime. The Giants won first. So you know what I mean?
all right.
Yeah, you gotta go first, Brody.
And keeping with that, since the Giants did win, and this topic D1, thank you for mentioning that. That is extremely heavy. I don't even know where to start at with that, but just to go off of me being a human being, I'll start with that. What it is being a human being, what it is being a male, what it is being Mark Twain Mills. For the sake of the podcast, Mark with a C. For all those who think I spell it with a K, you see it right there, Mark with a C. So the first thing that I will start with, I came across a quote that someone on my job had put in their email under their signature. And the quote said something along these lines. This is not verbatim. No one can do everything, but everyone is expected to do something. So what I understood that to mean is at some point or somewhere in my life, maybe not today, maybe that didn't occur yesterday, or maybe it happened 10 years from now, there may be something that I need to come across, or maybe something that I already have in me that I should be willing to die for, a cause, or something that I need to do in some regard that I should be willing to die for it. May have come across that. It may still be in me, or maybe I haven't. Um, and just me going through this life, from what I've seen and I've learned in my 50 years of living, the change that I want to see in this world, I don't think any of us will ever be able to bring that to fruition. I think the change that I would like to see in this world, only God could bring it. And the reason why I'm saying that, on some days, for the most part, everyone to say I'm someone that's an optimist, and I try to be. But then there's some days when I just want all of this to end, everything, all of us just die. Let's just start all this all over, because all this sucks. All this is hell. It looks like hell. It smells like hell. It feels like hell. I feel like that some days, and then I have to fight through that to get back to this optimism. Because for me to feel like that, I mean I lost it. May not last long, but at some point or another, it's gonna come back, because happiness is elusive, and I recognized that some time ago that I can't keep it. That's all I pursue in this life is happiness. I don't pursue money, because money is a resource. I just pursue happiness. And I realize that this happiness that I want to attain, this happiness that I want to keep, I won't find it in this life. So I'm in this constant pursuit of that, to do things to make me happy, do things to bring me joy. So I can have a good feeling about it, good feeling about the rest of the day, good feeling going into tomorrow, may have a good feeling about something I want to do next month. And me just having this optimism, and me steadily chasing this joy so I can get this happiness back. That's a constant pursuit. So that causes a lot of problems sometimes. It causes problems with my mindset. It causes problems in relationships. It may cause problems with other people that may not be on the same page as me in regards to my thoughts and my actions. Uh, if I'm rambling, please just tell me if I am.
No,
Because
you are not. Please keep going. Please, please.
I want to answer your question, but then just me looking within myself, like I said, this is going to be a lot of tapings for me to go into and just understand who I am. I definitely recognize that I'm far from perfect. Have my flaws, as minimal as they may be. I may have one or two. That was a joke there. You were supposed to laugh at
Wait,
that part. You
mm,
was, okay.
mm, one or two. We
Woo!
got it. Yeah, that was funny.
Right.
One of,
Normally
one of,
punchlines work with the laughter,
maybe
Oh,
but
one of the flaws is being a Giants fan, but carry on, sir.
yeah.
oh, that hurt.
Ooh,
That hurt.
and we're gonna
That
get you a
that
laugh
hurt.
track, brother. Don't worry about it. We're gonna insert the laugh track right there. It's gonna be crazy.
That that one right there hurt. Um, what else I was gonna say? In addition to me being a human being and also being a black male, is certain things that I have come across, and certain things that I need to be knowledgeable of, so I can share this with my daughter, and share this with my nephew, share this with people younger than me, or maybe share this with people older than me. Certain things that may come to light, and certain people that may not like me just because I'm tall. Certain people may not like me because I'm shorter than them. Certain people may not like me because I wear glasses to read. People are not gonna like you just cause. People are not
Hmm.
gonna like you if you're ambitious. People are not gonna like you if you're not ambitious. So I'm not the type of person that seeks validation. Again, this is in a constant pursuit of my happiness. Now, me chasing my happiness, this may be parallel to someone else who may be chasing theirs, and our thoughts and actions may not align. So when it comes to relationships, and dealing with women and different things of that nature, it may be some women that say I'm difficult. I may not give up enough of my thoughts, because to me, that's giving too much power away. If you know what I'm thinking all the time and what I'm doing,
Okay.
that's some level of vulnerability that I want to hold on to. Maybe at some point, I'll be able to just let that go and release all that vulnerability.
Hmm.
Uh, but that's just some of the things in regards to the onion, that makes Mark Mills Mark Mills. I'm definitely passionate about giving back to others who are less fortunate, and in any regard that we can. Hence, this how I met Ja, and I started what we're doing with the toy drives, the coat drives. I'm very charitable. I do charity work a lot. I was teaching adults how to read and write. I also
Mhm.
went to homeless shelters during the holidays because I don't celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas. I always offer up my time when those holidays come around. So this would take a very long time for me to get into me, and I would be going on all day for the whole time of this
Mm.
podcast in regards to answering that question. But just going through life, I'll touch the surface of your question because it would go into too much. But just going through life as Mark Mills, and me trying to pursue happiness, that just keeps me on the straight and narrow because I know it's gonna go away at some point, and then I'm happy about the fact that I could get it back and get that joy back and how I felt before it went away, and then it's gone again. And just meeting people with the same energy as me. And I don't like to make things complicated at all. I'm a human being. Sometimes I feel powerful. Sometimes I'm afraid. Sometimes I want to cry. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want to fight. Sometimes I want to hit people with my car. Sometimes I don't want to have a
Mm.
car because the parking situation sucks. But you
Yeah.
go through all these things as a human being. And then it's the next day. The next day you could start anew, or maybe the next second or the next minute. But that's me, Mark with a C.
Mark with a C. Let me ask you something because you said it so quick. I think I missed it. You used the word vulnerability. What were you saying about that for you? Was it like kind of protecting your peace and not letting people know certain parts of you? Is that what you were saying about vulnerability?
Well, the vulnerability I was speaking of in that regard, it related to relationships.
Hmm.
Relationships is in regards to, I may not always share my thoughts or what I'm thinking about every time with the person that I'm with, because that may reveal too much about me, and this person may use that against me at
Mm.
some point. So at the time, she may be someone that could heal that, whatever I'm going through. But maybe 5, 6 months from now, during a moment of distress or argument or something like that, this is something that I trusted you with and you healed me with, but now you're using it as a weapon against me. That's what I was speaking about.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And I can definitely see how this is. I appreciate you trying to skim over the top of some of this, but I could see how this could be a couple of episodes easy.
A few episodes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you waiting on me? Oh,
Oh, yes, sir.
I thought I was the end of the show. I don't know how
No.
to follow up behind that.
No, we say, listen, we say something for you right after this. Right after this, D1 and I are gonna go to the gas station. You understand? Some light.
Oh man. All right. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So to echo Brothers Mark's sentiment, yeah, there's many layers of the onion in, as far as existing as a black man. I'll talk as existing as a black man as that I am embodying right now, as spirit embodying
Mm.
a black body, a black man, a black human being. So
Spirit embodying. Okay.
yes. So um, from my point of view, just strictly talking from Jaja's point of view, my life as a black man in my almost 50 years of existence, it's been a lot of it's been beneficial. There's been some trauma. There's been beneficial. It's been fun. It's been joyful. It's been stressful. It's been frustrating. It's been happy, and it's been sad. But overall, I love this lifetime as a black man, because I'm part of a very rich culture that we all share, musically, fashion wise, food wise, uh, as ancestral wise, generational wise, historic wise.
Yes,
I'm,
yes.
I'm enjoying overall my life as a Black man in this lifetime because I'm seeing excellence in my fellow people and cheering them on. I'm surrounded by great people who exude ingenuity, talent, and excellence.
Mm.
The friendships I've forged, the bondings I've forged, the parents that I came from, the ingenuity and talent that they possess, that's in my DNA, that's in my code. Proud of that. Proud of the family that embodies excellence and ingenuity and talent. So also the strength and the resilience of our people. Even in living in today's systemic racist society, because I do believe we're living in systemic racism. We're living in a country that's systemically oppressive. We're not in shackles anymore, but systemically, the micro and macro, you know what I'm saying, situation
We know.
you guys know, that we all share and embody and living in this United States of America. That was 3 Ks.
Well done. Well done. Well done. You just went and snuck that in there.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yes, sir. As you can see by the way I talk, I love the hell of my people. I love the hell out of my people. I love my brothers, and I definitely love my sisters. Fun fact: never dated outside my race.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Just thought,
Throw that in there.
just thought I'd throw that in there. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And I think that, and I attribute that to my father, and God rest his dead. My father was very socially conscious. You know, he came from Jamaica, and he was a socially conscious man. He was a Rastafarian, and he definitely taught me how to be proud of myself and proud of my people, and taught me how to be a proud Black man. He always liked to say, be a warrior. Don't be a warrior. Don't be a coward. Don't be weak. Stand on your principles. And also taught me about the beauty of our people, the beauty, especially the beauty of our women. Because when I was a kid, I used to when I was watching TV, I used to have a crush on one of the women I used to have a crush on was
Thelma.
No, not even Thelma.
Okay.
It was Wonder Woman, Linda Carter.
Oh.
Right, but here's the irony though. I thought she was a pretty white woman, right? But here's the irony: as I later learned in life, she's not actually white at all. She's a Chicano. So there's that. So I guess something in me always.
You wasn't alone with that crush, though.
You want to make sure you
wasn't alone with that crush.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. No, but you see what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at this pretty white woman thinking that she's pretty, right? It's like because there's something about her. Of course, there's something about her. She got flavor to her. She's really a brown woman. That's why I'm looking at thinking.
I don't think I knew that. I didn't know that. I don't think.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, you can look it up. Linda Carter's Chicano.
Clearly, you've done your research, so I'm going to trust you.
Yeah. So so it was recent that I realized. I said to myself, oh, no wonder. I always thought she was pretty. You know what I'm saying? She got a little something to her. You know what I'm saying? That something was Chicano. Well, anyway, but off on a tangent. My father taught me all of that. Black pride, Black consciousness, Black appreciation, love of the people, appreciating the people, and things like that. And so I grew up in indoctrinating that mindset, and I'm very proud of that. The for me, the other aspects of it, growing up, growing up, definitely had self-esteem issues. Definitely experienced some traumatic situations, self-esteem issues, and those self-esteem issues caused me to act out in ways where I thought I was protecting myself for some odd reason, or trying to get validation and approval, or trying to look cool, look impressive, or trying to be accepted. So there was that period for me where I was trying to be accepted from my peers, and I was building up a certain falsehood about myself in order to be accepted by my peers. So then I later learned that that's the wrong thing to do. And actually, as I entered high school, um, my peers around me in high school. That's why I'm so close to a lot of my high school friends, because a lot of my high school friends, actually accepted me for who I am. It was like the first time I felt accepted for who I am. So that's why I hold a lot of my high school friends near and dear.
Wow.
So there's also vulnerabilities, like Mark says, and there's also fears, fears of how what people gonna say or how people gonna react. Those are other issues I had to work through. And this is why, to Mark's point, a lot of although I share certain degrees of trauma, certain degrees of vulnerability and esteem issues, in having my own, I could definitely empathize with other brothers who go through those kind of main things: the vulnerabilities, the self-esteem issues, the fear, right? I can empathize with a lot of brothers. I can relate to a lot of brothers with that. Even though my degree may not be as extreme as theirs, but I can understand it because I also have them and I also deal with them. A lot of so just from a standpoint, taking it off me right now, I am relatable, and I know a lot of brothers who experience these issues, and they make critical mistakes, or they attract a certain vibe of people around them, and they experience a lot of traumatic episodes and situations because of how they're holding themselves vibrationally. Because it's the fear that they have that actually brings forth that fear to reality, if they're not careful. And there's quite a number of brothers that I know that weren't careful, because they don't understand vibrationally that fear is also an energy. And if you keep being fearful of certain things, you're gonna draw that energy towards you. And so for me, I've learned that, and was able to apply it and understand that. So so right now, currently, I live within that philosophy. I live in that philosophy. As far as relationships with women go, I think well, I'll just say overall, in relationships, black men don't black men wants to be respected. Black men wants to be respected. Black man wants to feel validated and respected. Um, and that's really a big thing for them. Um, and the respect comes from just having the respect just comes from just being cooperative, not necessarily ruling over your significant other or wanting to be a tyrant or a dictator, but just cooperation. If just be in agreement with something, if he's trying to be a leader of the household or be a leader of the household and trying to make decisions of the household, a lot of Black men and also Black men that struggle with this person, that I know personally struggle with this, don't want to deal with a lot of pushback, because we're dealing with a lot of pushback into the world. Because remember, just like sisters, we are also fighting in the world in this systemic racism, systemically racist platform called America.
Yeah.
We're both fighting the same battle. So the Black man wants to come home and just feel at peace with his significant other and not feel disrespected by one other person that's supposed to be his partner, his soulmate, and his comrade, and going out into the world and doing what we need to do to maintain and survive.
Very true.
And so again, I could speak to that because, like I said, I have comrades who are going through with that. But here's the thing, back to my other point. So now that I've been taught about energy, I was explaining this to Mark in the conversation. You know, my wife, trust me, my wife and I has gone through trials and tribulations. Y'all already know marriage ain't rosy all the time.
Listen.
And right, you already know.
You know, I know.
Yeah, right. So you know the moments, the moments of disrespect, my wife and I both experienced from each other. From each other. Why have we experienced disrespect from each other? Whether me be in a rage and yelling because I feel that she said something to me condescending and I snap, or she feels that I'm not met. She questions my manhood or my level of productivity financially or in the household. So she speaks to me in a condescending way or in a disrespectful way. It's those that back and forth we've dealt with throughout the earlier parts of that marriage. So what we've been taught from a spiritual standpoint, and this spiritual teacher that we both learned from, she was teaching us about energies. It's not even about man and woman, it's about masculine and feminine energy, right? It's not even about the body, the man and the woman, masculine and feminine energy. Once we started learning that, it's helped us to coexist with each other. It's helped us to, keep our marriage solid and sturdy. You know what I'm saying? Because we almost throwing the towel. Mark could tell you. We almost throwing the towel because I shared that with him, right, Mark?
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we almost throwing the towel.
Because you were messing up. You messing up, getting on her nerves.
Nah, man. No, sir. No, ma'am. Nope. Nah, it's happy spouse, happy house over here.
That's a smart man.
You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. We don't do that. Spouse.
Yeah, that's spouse. That's gender non-conforming, sir.
Hey,
That is, you make me happy, I make you happy.
That's
We're
it.
all happy in here.
We all happy.
Beautiful.
That's right. But in a nutshell, because now I'm rambling.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
It's all right. It's gonna be 3-4 episodes. It's gonna be 3-4 episodes.
So yeah, so like to Mark's point, I definitely echo his sentiments and certain feelings throughout the day. Certain incidents or information that triggers me to make me feel certain various emotions. Like Mark said, one to punch somebody in the face, or one to cry, or feeling happy, or just want to get away from people, be by myself, or yeah, well, and also, yeah, God needs to start this shit all over, just do over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can
All of
echo
it.
those sentiments at times
All
too.
of it. All of it.
So, but I'm grasping the new understanding. Thank God, you know, and coming across the spiritual teacher, the new understanding I'm grasping is helping me process my day to day. Because I understand the law of attraction, the law of polarity, the universal laws in a nutshell, right? So that those principles help me um, carry myself throughout the day, and I was also taught to not how can I put this? Not not suppress the feelings, but feel the feelings. So there's a difference. There's a difference from suppressing the feelings and feeling the feelings and letting it go through.
Better talk that talk.
Right. Not saying I'm good. No, know that you're feeling a certain way and let the energy flow through. It's better that way to let the energy flow through. So whether you want to scream, whether you want to hit something or kick something, you know, not inflict violence on anybody, but you just want to scream and let it out so it can be out of you, so you can better process it. That's more correct way to do it, because you're not gonna, like you say, you're not gonna be happy every damn day. We're in a world where there's spiritual warfare going on, and we both possess the God and the devil in us. We all got a bright side, we all got a dark side, right? So the spiritual warfare that's going on is really the internal battle with oneself. And this is to Mark's point about how he's feeling when he's having those dark moments, like he want to hit somebody with a car. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you want to punch somebody in the face? Hell yeah, sometimes, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it also comes from those triggers and those traumatic situations that embedded in you during your upbringing. So it's everybody's job to work through that in order for them to come out on the other side of it and grow and try to be the best version of themselves ultimately. And rant.
Oh, that was so good. Mark, I saw you nodding your head. You want to add some stuff? It felt like you needed some more time, some more space to rant.
Probably on the third tape, when we do the third taping of this, and when we revisit this, just a couple of things I want to mention, since we're on the topic of mandom, uh, human being, the maledom, black maledom. So a couple of things a lot of people refer to, especially as it relates to children. So I used to hear this sometime when I was younger. My parents would say, "I can't wait till you get older and you have kids."
Hmm.
So I never liked that comment, because the tone upon which they were speaking upon that was as if they're gonna give you the same problems
That's
that you're
right.
giving me,
Absolutely.
or they may not. You can't predict way back when I'm this young what my child or children may be like when I have children. Thankfully, and thank God, I have a daughter to where that didn't apply for me to go back to or say that was some sort of karma. I don't believe in that karma. And another thing they say, if you were, for lack of a better term, a womanizer as a male, then you're definitely gonna have a daughter.
Hmm.
I don't believe in that either. I think that's just something that people say. And you know, my daughter asked me these questions a lot about when I was young, how I was as a, a youngster, how I was as a teenager. So she gets to see how I am as a man, as I'm fully grown in different ways I transition. So she asked how difficult it is to be a parent. And I always tell her that in no way, shape, form, or fashion is it difficult for me to be a parent, because any and everything I do for you come from a place of love. period. If I love you, everything else is going to fall into place. Can't read a book on parenting. You're never prepared to be a parent. It comes with, you learn this on the job as you're doing it. So that's where it started from. So it'll go back and forth with different questions. Well, you make it seem so easy. I said, well, I have to simplify things. For me, everything has to be simplified. I have to make sense of it, because then if I don't, I'll be confused. So in regards to parenting, I guess as it relates to males and things of that nature, it just comes from a place of love. I don't make it complicated at all. And you know, they have about 50 million books on parenting. I don't think that's helpful to read a book on parenting. If it comes from a place of love, it has to start there. If it don't start there, you lost. And I don't make that complicated at all as parenting. Another issue I wanted to touch on, I thought we spoke about this before, and we laughed about it, about pause and pausing and all that meant. So this is a good topic to touch upon, since you know we're talking about males and black males and their sensitivity that comes within us. So I'm one of those people, I never say pause. Like I told you guys before, I never do that. I never say it, because I think that's immature. So if I'm having a conversation with y'all, like I said, and we're talking about the football game, with the Giants playing, by the way, the Giants won today. And we're talking about the football game, and I'm talking about a particular player. And I say, Ja, did you see that game? Oh my God, he was playing hard. Ja knows what I mean by that. I don't need to say pause. You understand? So if I'm confident in my sexuality, that I'm a straight male, and I know that, how can I ever have an intelligent conversation with someone who subscribed to that? Everything I refer to, nah, pause. Nah, chill, pause. Yo, you going uptown? Yeah, what train you gonna take? I'm gonna take the D. Nah, pause. Everything we refer to. You understand? I think that speaks towards a level of immaturity. I'm never gonna say that, because I'm confident in my sexuality. I know I'm a straight male. I know I love women. I never have to say that, and I never will. So for those of you guys that say that or refer to that, that's all on you. You won't have me saying that. Or maybe we should just stop it. You understand? You never hear women saying anything like that. They just don't. So if a woman says something to another woman in that regard, you'll never hear a woman say, nah, no lesbo. You ever heard that?
Right.
Can't say that I have.
Again, this is not right, night, wrong. I don't have anything against women or lesbians. I'm just using it as a point in regards to our conversation. So I don't want any of the comments. The nerve. It's just a point of reference that I'm speaking upon. It's just men. It's just men. We feel we need to do that. Now, we're normally seeing this around people that we know already, friends that we've had for years, in a long, very long time. So what validation do I need from these guys that I'm already friends with for me to say something like that, if they already know I'm straight already? Are these really my friends if I feel I need to do that? So this is me putting out a proclamation for you guys. Please stop that. It's immature. It's ignorant. Whatever it is you are, or whatever it is you like, just run with it, because it doesn't look good for a conversation. And when we're speaking about various topics. So when we get into the conversation dealing with religion, that'll be another topic. I know something Ja mentioned in regards to what we have inside of us. That'll definitely be a deep topic. And all of us, we're all children of God. So us and our spirituality, I always tell people often that I'm spiritual. Whatever that means, it's just something I have to define within myself, and that would have to be self-definitive. I don't go to church. I definitely believe there is a God. I definitely believe his son is Jesus Christ. And whatever it is I believe within those confines, this is what guides me. And every single day I pray. Not only do I pray myself, believe, I pray for all of you guys. I pray that any decision that I make as a human being, not just as Mark Twain Mills, not just as a male, not just as a black male. I pray that I prove worthy for when all this changes and I'm there to see it when it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that that's touching on a lot of surfaces. Again, this could go a whole lot of different ways to make it in regards to the topics that you brought up, in regards to us just being men and us moving through this world. And again, we're still moving. But I think one of the most important things that Ja and I could both do, and I'm sure we could both agree upon, is that we have to continually be educated, because
Mm-hmm.
the world is changing so much. I like to know stuff. I like to read about stuff. I like to hear about stuff. I like to absorb it. I don't like to be in a situation where I'll say, oh, well, I didn't know that. I like to read about it. I like to know about it. There's so many things, different changes. I mean, it's things that's probably changing right now as we speak, as we have this podcast and as we're recording. And maybe when we go off the air, maybe something that I read that I'll learn about and say, wow, I just learned this. And maybe I'll share it with you guys. But I think
You're
education is
always
key
sharing
in a lot of
something.
situations. Education is key. I think that is very important, and it's very important for us to know, and not only for us to share it and then share it with our children, or even people that don't have children. Just educate yourself about things. That'll get you in a lot of situations that you want to be in, and that'll get you out of a lot of situations that you may not want to be in, that you find yourself in, because you're educated enough to know what to do. And we have the power to do that. And as human beings, we have the power to change things. So I think this was an excellent topic that you chose, D1. But I just want to know, was there, I know you asked a lot of questions initially when we first started. Was there something specific that you wanted to know? Or did we cover all that? Because again, we may not be able to cover it doing this. I'm sure we're gonna revisit this at another point, or maybe when we go to the gas station. Or was there something
You don't stop.
specific that you was there something specific that you wanted us to answer?
Well, first of all, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think
Right back at
part of the beauty of this format that we have of Not Right, Not Wrong is this cross gender aspect, and being able to share the space with two men. Like there's questions that I have, there's things that I want to know about what your experiences are like, because although I see some of it, it's not part of my experience. I
you.
don't live it. So I empathize with some of what I see. And, sometimes, quite honestly, y'all get on my nerves, but I don't know what it is to move in your skin. And so I'm just really curious about that. And I think that this platform that we have gives us an opportunity to kind of share our experiences, right? We don't need a research study. Research studies are based on individual accounts. So right here, we have individual accounts of what it is. And um, like I heard you talk about so much. I heard you talk about just wanting to find optimism for yourself and for others around you and in the world, and what that looks like. And I know both of you are community minded. I know some of the work that you've done in the community. It's only the tip of the iceberg.
Yep.
Um, but I hear things like vulnerability. I hear things like trauma. I hear things like, self-esteem. I hear happiness. I hear pride. I hear strength. I hear resilience. I hear music and food and all of those things that make you up. And we don't often, women, I don't think often get the inside of what that is for you, right? Sometimes we get the outside, sometimes we get the tough shell. So like I literally have been told before, you have to let a man be a man. And I'm confused by that a little bit, because I'm not asking anybody to let me be a woman. I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
so what does that mean? I don't know. Like, help me understand what it is for you that there's these restrictions. Um, and I can say I just before I tell you what I want to know because I do want to know something.
Uh-oh.
Before I tell you
Let
what
y'all
that
go first.
Giants won, B. They won first. You gotta answer questions first, dogs.
Go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead,
But
D1.
I just want to say that I, Tamika, appreciate Black men. I really do. Like I appreciate the swag, right? The swag, the smell, the way you move through the world, the confidence, so like all of those things that are like I recognize that man. I recognize without knowing who that person is. See what if you don't stop it?
That's the handsome one. Remember that. It's the handsome one.
Oh my
That's the handsome one.
God.
Remember that. Remember that.
But
Tell him again, Mark. Tell him again. Tell him again.
oh,
You gotta let him know.
Listen,
That's the
I'm
handsome
still
one.
handsome.
There you go. There you go, man. Come on.
I don't know why you encourage this tomfoolery with this man. Why are we doing this? But there's something in me that recognizes what's in you, right? There's something that recognizes this shared experience, this
Mm,
energy.
mm.
And when I see that, I love that. But then there's this, this part that we just, I don't understand. I can't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah. You're right.
And so my question, gentlemen, is in this platform, in this space, like I understand that you might not be willing to go super deep with this answer. There's some things you want to keep to yourself. But what is your biggest fear as a man?
The Giants won first, dogs. You gotta answer that. Oh, before you answer, I was in my mental Rolodex. I did date a couple of Latinas, but they're brown women also. So there's that.
Yo,
They're brown women. They're brown women though. They're brown women
Yo.
though. They brown. So there's that. They still in the diaspora. They still in the diaspora.
there was a Chicano, and so she's good though.
Yeah, it's still part of the diaspora. Still part of the diaspora. Yeah.
But we're laughing about that, but there's still pressure in that. There's still pressure in what it means to be a Black man and who you like. Listen, we could do this all day, all night. Like there's
So in of itself.
in and of itself, that's a whole other topic. And
Facts.
the homophobia in the Black community. But
Facts.
I
Something else.
think it's because of how your masculinity gets challenged in so many ways that now it's like, no, I have to prove to you that I'm a man. Who said, am I a man too? Is that James Baldwin?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So, but it's all of these challenges to manhood. But okay, what is your biggest fear as a man?
So my biggest fear, I wouldn't even say it's a fear, but I guess for the sake of the conversation, I would probably say something along the lines of me dying before I get to fulfill what I want my legacy to be. I think about a lot. I think about that a lot, and I think about that often, and just me wondering the purpose. That question comes up, and it's going to keep coming around a lot as long as I'm living. To this day, I'm still trying to figure out why I'm here, why we're here, and I highly doubt I'm the only one that has that inquiry every single day and just questioning myself. But within that realm, and just me having that fear, I think it would be for me to figure out, for me fulfilling what my legacy is. I want my legacy to be. I I just wanted to see. I just want to see a sign. I just wanted to come to me. I just wanted to be an epiphany and me just pull it out the air. Oh, Mark, that's your legacy right there. Go ahead and do that. Instead of me just searching for it or me wondering about it, is this the right thing? Why should I do it? Maybe I should just stop doing that. Maybe I shouldn't work with. Maybe I should just quit this. And asking all of these questions as opposed to it just coming to me, that would be a lot easier. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. So I have to go about this life and searching. and just figuring out what I think my legacy may look like. And for right now, the legacy would be more so what people think about you once you've transitioned. So I'm assuming I'm in a safe space with that. I'm sure the funeral would be packed, very packed,
Yes, yes. We're
and
selling
and
tickets. Don't worry about it.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The tickets is going to be sold, but everyone that speaks, they're gonna be speaking from their heart. No one that's going to speak is going to say anything that they don't feel or that's not genuine. But
Mm.
that may not be my legacy. I just wanted to fulfill whatever I want my legacy to be before I transition out of this place here. I think that's one of my biggest fears that I think about often. And then I question why do this? Why do that? And then this goes back to the optimism and me thinking about different things. And so it's a lot. But to answer your question, I would say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to say ditto. What I'm gonna have to say ditto. That's the biggest wondering, the biggest wonderment. What is my legacy? What is my purpose? This is something I've been struggling with for quite some time. I know that I have a lot of interests. I have interest in a lot of things, but what is my what is my true purpose in this lifetime?
This became a mystery. I know
Hold
has
on,
a
hold on,
lot
hold
of
on. Wait,
mystery.
wait.
This lifetime.
Sorry, I didn't.
What
So
happened?
I didn't mean to cut you off at all, but it
Guys.
just seemed like you went into professor mode. I you just sat back and like, listen, Mark, and maybe you better listen because I'm not gonna grade this paper on a curve. So y'all better listen.
Is that
Go
simple?
ahead.
Something definitely happened. Something happened.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Is that simple?
Something
We were
happened.
no longer here. It was Ja in the room by himself. He didn't need nobody. It was, yes.
It was coming to him.
Yeah.
It was coming to him
Mhm,
at
mhm.
this moment.
Yeah.
You know, like, look at my hands. Look at my hands.
Look,
You see? I'm still like this. Yes. So, yes, what is the almost 50 years of existence in this lifetime?
Yeah.
What is my purpose? I admire men, specifically our men, our brothers who know their purpose. Like there was a moment, like to Mark's point, there was a moment or epiphany, and they knew their purpose, and they just carried on through it and cemented their legacy. Let's use, there's tons of brothers out there that did that. Let's say, I don't know, let's say Prince, right? Prince knew his purpose. His purpose was to create music, to be a master of music, create music that impacted the world, and his legacy is cemented. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, he was a high school basketball player. So
Mhm.
that joke with Dave Chappelle was an exaggeration. That was a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And it was confirmed by other people. Like, yo, yeah, nah, Prince really could play ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But his legacy was his music. His legacy was his music. You know what I'm saying? Just using him as an example. Other talented and genius brothers. Chris Brown comes to mind too. Chris Brown is a multi-talented brother, very ingenious brother, very creative brother. He has multifaceted talents, but his legacy is dance and music. He's a great dancer.
Yeah, he might be a little bit more of a controversial subject.
I mean, personal life aside, his ingenuity, his talent, and his talent is steps toward his legacy. How he's gonna impact the world however he does when it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? Personality aside, personal life aside.
Yeah, that's a tough one still.
You know what I'm
I like to offer to both of you that
saying?
you're already living your purpose. You're already walking. I know it sounds, real corny and woo woo and all of that stuff, but I think you're already walking in your purpose. I really do.
No, it doesn't sound cool. It sounds like loving words from a
It does.
sounds
From
like
Thank
loving
me,
you.
words from a sister.
It's highly appreciated.
Yes,
Truly,
highly appreciate it. Sounds like loving words from a
truly,
sister. That same
truly,
share the same
truly.
synergy of struggle and systemic oppression with brothers. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, we
listen,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah, we appreciate that as much
I
as
got y'all back.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
coming from somebody that's from Webster also.
From
So
Webster,
you already know.
our body.
Webster Ave, son, Webster
Okay,
Ave.
our body.
Okay, wait, we're digressing. I think we should go ahead and wrap.
Yeah, all right, yeah,
But
yeah,
listen,
yeah.
I just want to say one thing because I'm sure at some point we'll revisit this topic as it relates to women. But what I find, one of the things I've found over the course of the years is that one of life's greatest mysteries, despite what we may have learned today and the mysteries
Is
of
this a
men and the
setup?
things
Is
we
this
don't
legitimate?
share, one of life's greatest mysteries to me is what lies inside of the head or the mind of a woman.
Yeah.
Mysterious beyond words. Sometimes we want to know, sometimes we don't want to know. But I think a lot of times as men, we're trying to figure this out. And I think that causes so many problems and friction trying to figure it out. But to me, I think that's one of life's greatest mysteries. And it may be bittersweet. Sometimes it's beautiful trying to figure it out. And then at the same time, may cause your head to explode.
Yeah,
So it's bittersweet. But like I said, that's one of life's greatest mysteries. I don't think again, my opinion may be biased because I'm a male. I don't think that we're all that mysterious. I think for the most part we're easy to figure out. I don't see us being mysterious in any regard like that. But
No,
this is
but
me. My opinion is definitely gonna be biased.
see
But with
one, but
women,
you just said that in relationships sometimes you don't want to share everything that you're thinking.
this is true.
That makes
This
you
is true
mysterious, brother. That makes you mysterious.
to some degree. But on a grand scale, on a grand scale, hence me saying one of life's greatest mysteries, I think it's more so what's in the mind of the woman.
well,
So
I would well, I would slightly veer from that statement and say really life greatest mysteries is oneself because
Mm.
the person that you're with is only a reflection of yourself. So one of greatest mysteries is oneself. Um, that's in the strength of not right, not wrong. That's my belief now. I I used to believe what my belief, but that's my belief now. One of life's greatest mysteries is oneself. So the more the more you begin to unravel about yourself, the more layers that you peel back and learn and grow. Um, a new shift can emerge, a new self can emerge, and the people that are in your life, the people in your life are just information. The people in your life are just information because really nobody's responsible for your happiness but you. That's the real
very true.
crux of it.
Very true.
No,
Very true.
no man is responsible for a woman's happiness. No woman is responsible for a man's happiness. It's an individual process. And then once you feel you come to a point, whoever you're dealing with is merely an attraction to who you are as a person, um, good or bad. The beauty in that experience with that partner is the lesson. Now the lesson may look ugly, or the lesson may look nice, or but the fact of the matter, there's always a lesson. The lesson is for you to learn about yourself through the other soul, through the other entity. The other entity is teaching you who you are, right? If you're a man who's vulnerable, fearful all the time, you're probably going to attract a woman who's opposite. She's going to be domineering and toxic, because that energy, your fears, is attracting that toxicity, and you're gonna have that. You're not gonna have a healthy relationship, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? It's a lesson to be learned. A lot of us don't want to identify with the lesson. We identify with the person. We point fingers at the person. But if you keep pointing the fingers at the person, and your next relationship is gonna be a different looking person, but the same lesson, and the lesson's gonna get harder till you figure it out. You know what I mean? So, and this was taught to me by my spiritual teacher who happens to be a Black woman, D1.
Yes, but of course, who else?
Who else?
What a black the black women are the mothers and the teachers of civilization.
Listen,
All right.
listen, I'm here for all of it. And I just, to speak to that lesson part, I agree, I concur with every syllable of Jaja, not C1. No, I never agree with C1. But
It's
that
okay.
You agree he's handsome though. I know you agree with that.
no one that's
She
the
does.
last thing I do not. Nobody does.
She does,
Nobody.
ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna, and not ladies and no, she does, ladies and gentlemen. No, she does not, ladies and
does.
gentlemen.
She
But, but I am like, I'm a walking testimony of getting hit over the head with the lessons repeatedly. Like I have a way of being stubborn. And at some point, you get hit over the head with the lesson enough times. Okay, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna listen and let me take this lesson in, because it just keeps coming back. It does. Like the people you encounter, I do believe, are a reflection of you, and not necessarily the mask that you present to the world, but the inner you, the energies, the things that you're trying to disguise is what you'll see reflected back.
That's what's going to expose you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so I think, you know, in my opinion, in the strength of not right, not wrong, don't take my word for it. Full disclaimer. I am not an expert. I'm not a physician or a psychologist or professional. In this program of not right, not wrong, please don't take my word.
Ditto.
You can use the information and consider it or not. But, you know, it's just my point of view. Yes. Now,
we should do that on every podcast.
Everyone.
You know, that's why I did that now.
One.
We got to do that.
We got to do it on everyone. Full disclaimer.
Full disclaimer. So, my humble opinion, I think that's the problem with. I think that's the overall problem with relationships between us, right? Because we're not understanding that there's that the person that we're with is a lesson for us, and that's the beauty of the relationship, no matter how ugly it is. So once you part ways with that person, it will behoove you to sit with yourself and take mental notes and reflect and think about, what was it that person did that triggered me? What is it about myself? What is it about myself that made me feel that way? Or where was it in my life where I was that person that triggered that type of emotion from me? Because the fact of the matter is, we either have it innately, or we have had done it to someone else. That's what that lesson is about. It's either innate, to your point, T, or we did it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's all karmic energy.
But this is the thing we do though. So we get faced with ourselves in romantic relationships.
Yeah.
And whatever type of relationship it is, right? It doesn't just have to be heterosexual. Like whatever the relationship is, you get faced with yourself, break up, you call that person everything but a child of God.
That's right.
This, that thing, all kinds of other things.
Facts.
And we push them out the door as if everything was them. And now our life is going to be great because that horrible, horrible person is out the door. And we still sitting here with ourselves. We still sitting here not examining ourselves, not going to therapy. And listen, I'm a fan of meditation, journaling, going to church, running, dancing, maybe a little bit of wine to settle down and to think, like all of those things. But in my opinion, and in the words of NDRE, I think, this is all my opinion, ain't nothing that I'm saying law. But in my opinion, there is nothing that replaces therapy. There's nothing that replaces therapy because therapy, you get to sit and face yourself and look at all kinds of stuff, all of your upbringing, all kinds of things that you try to ignore. So you're going to keep kicking people out of your life. That thing is going to keep coming back to you because it's you.
Amen. Yes, ma'am.
So,
amen.
So what we talked about in our banter, and a lot of the times the people that watch us, they don't get to see the banter and a lot of the jewels and things that we're sharing with each other before we actually go on live. So one of the topics that'll come up at some point is in regards to breakups and how detrimental it may or may not be to the person, and keeping with John mentioned, and then the behavior that you may continue to exhibit because person A broke up with you, person B broke up with you, and person C broke up with you. That has to affect you. It has to affect you as a human being, whether or not it affects you from a positive perspective or a negative perspective, but it's going to affect you. And what you do with this behavior, what you do with that, once you're broken up and just going forward from there. I won't get into it too much because that's going to be a topic, and just how we deal with it, not necessarily as a male, not necessarily as a female, but just as a human being. And this happens to you. And I think a lot of this has to do with what Ja was referring to, and also what you was referring to, D1, and you sitting with yourself and what you're going to do or give to the next person. That's a whole lot of energy, and it has to do with your recovery time. It may be quick, maybe 2 or 3 days, maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe 6, 7 years. But again, that's energy, whatever it is you do with it. But I think that's going to be a very hard topic, and it's definitely going to require a lot of honesty. Definitely going to be honest and my relationships and what it did to me in that regard for those breakups. And ultimately, in everything we do in regards to not right, not wrong, we want to help someone. If someone sees this and this helps you, anything that I've said, anything that D1 has says, anything that Ja has says, let it help you. If it does, that's beautiful. Just keep watching us, because this is ultimately what we want to do. Because I could definitely say this is definitely therapeutic for me, and us having this podcast and us speaking our truths and what we know so far. You may not learn everything because it's too much to ourselves as 3 beings, but if it helps you, bravo, share with someone else. So
dig it.
I dig it too. On that note, I think it's a wrap. I think we're wrapping this episode.
All right.
Thank you all for watching.
Till next time.
peace.